Hello, good evening. Welcome, y'all. So, tonight we're getting back into The Three Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth by Dolores Cannon. And we're reading Ch.2. So, here we go. Let me just get a sip and we'll do it to it. Ch.2 A First Timer. As I have said, over the years, I have discovered many new and pure souls who are coming to Earth at the present time with a different agenda from those who have been trapped on the karmic wheel for countless lifetimes. Because they have no accumulated karma, they are free to pursue their real mission. The main problem is the forgetting or amnesia process that affects souls when they come to Earth. They have said that ours is the only planet in the universe that forgets their connection with God, and we have to stumble through life with blinders on until we discover it again. The other civilizations remember their connection and their contracts and plans. They greatly admire us for taking on this challenge of forgetting and thinking we are all alone, and having to rediscover it all on our own. I think it would be so much easier if we could come in with full knowledge of our mission, our task, but the powers that be do not agree. They say it is best to have all memory erased and to allow us to rediscover ourselves, as well as our mission. They said it would not be a test if we knew the answers. So even those who come with the purest motives and intentions are bound by the same rules as the rest of us. They must forget why they have come and where they have come from. All that all that is left is a secret longing that there is something else that they can't quite grasp. That there is something missing. They have to find themselves again and stumble through life just like the rest of us until light and memory begins to seep through their blinders. That is where this process of hypnosis helps bring the memories to the forefront. It is now time to remember, to push aside the veil and rediscover our reason for coming to this troubled planet at this precise time in history. Those that I classify as the second wave seem to be observers rather than participants. They are here to facilitate changes without their conscious knowledge or participation. They are to be channels of energy. They are just to be. They don't have to do anything. This can sometimes be aggravating to some of my clients. On their list of questions that they bring with them to be asked during the session is always what I call the eternal question. What is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I on the right path? Everyone who comes to see me wants to know the same thing. The only ones who don't have this question on their list say, "Oh, I don't need to ask that. I know what I'm supposed to be doing." Those individuals are rare. The majority are still searching, knowing there is something just out of reach of their conscious mind. When I have those that I have classified as the second wave, they are usually told by the SC that they don't need to be doing anything. They are accomplishing their goal by being. After one session, a male client became upset. "But I want to be doing something." They don't realize that they are doing their mission just by being here. There are many cases of first timers in my other books. An entire section in Convoluted Universe, Book 3, is devoted to those who unearthed memories of coming directly from the God Source. In this book are some portions of recent 2009 to 2010 sessions that illuminate just how complex this decision process was that brought them here to Earth. Hey, welcome everyone. I'm going to double check the settings. Boom, we're good. Marie. In my hypnosis technique, I use a method of having the client drift down from a cloud into an appropriate past life. I have found it to be 98% effective, so I use it often. When Marie was in deep trance, she didn't want to come down off the cloud. Instead, she wanted to go up. When that happens, I allow the client to do whatever they wish. I never know where it will lead. As she moved upward, she found herself in black space surrounded by many stars. I see how little I am and how big it is out there. She seemed to be hovering, suspended in midair. Quote, it's all around me, and I feel like I'm part of it all. I'd like to get closer to the stars, just get closer to the closest star I can, and see if I can look inside of it. End quote. Dolores, which direction do you want to go? Marie, the star came to me. I didn't have to go to it. It's right there. I'm looking through it, and I'm seeing inside of it, I guess. It's like gases. It's like vapors. Nothing is staying still. All vapor, gas, and colors. Like iridescent water. Like an oil slick on water. I'm not in the black of the sky anymore. I'm in colors. It's just flashing lights. Dolores, so the star is not at all like you thought it would look like? Marie, no. I thought it would be like the big stars. I thought it would be like the big stars going to make me blind, but it's not. Dolores, do you want to see if it has a surface? Marie, it feels just right the way it is because it's encircling me, encompassing me, just floating through the gases, and my head is moving all around so I can see behind me and around, to see if I can see its outside, but I'm just seeing its inside. Dolores, so it doesn't have to have a solid surface? Marie, no, I feel perfect in it. I'm one with it. She laughs. I don't feel alien to it. It accepts me as part of it. No rejection. I am part of that star, and it hasn't been disrupted because of my appearance. I'm still going on, and I'm just part of it. No structure, no form. Hey, Pajo, welcome in. Good to see ya. Dolores, do you feel you have a body, or what does it feel like? Marie, encompassed. I feel like it's whispering all around my body. Very pleasant, very content, very cushioned. Part of the vapors. Suspended. I feel suspended. So do you... I feel suspended. So do you feel like you have a body? Oh, wait. Is there a D there? No, that's connected. I feel suspended. So do you feel like you have a body when you're suspended? You just feel like you're hanging. It's all around me. Dolores, do you feel alone? Marie, I'm all alone. Well, I don't feel like I'm alone because I'm with it. I don't feel alone. Dolores, I meant there are no others. Marie, no, nobody besides me. No people at all. Not even the thought of people. I'm in the cosmos. I feel one with it, not separate from it. If I try to float out and see it, I might feel separate of it. I don't know. Dolores, do you have any desire to do anything else? And this is Dolores narrating. I was trying to get her to move on with the story. Marie, no, I don't need to do anything but be right there. She laughs. I don't want to go anywhere else. And then Dolores more narrating. This could have gone on for quite a while, so I moved her forward to a time when she decided to leave that place and go somewhere else that was appropriate. When I did, she was no longer in space. She saw herself on a very high cliff. There was an overhang, a piece that jutted out over a huge chasm. Marie, I can see down there. It's like I can see lots of little ants. She laughs. It might be people, but they're so tiny. I see little dots that could be trees. They could be cars. They could be people. They're moving, so it's like I'm seeing something from far away. I think I might be on top of a mountain. Yes. It's not scary. I'm above everybody. They probably are people. The first thing I thought of was ants, little ants. It's distant. Dolores, become aware of your body. What does your body feel like? Marie, I don't feel like I'm in a body. Dolores, do you want to stay? Do you want to stay there, or do you want to go out? Marie, I need to just be there a little longer instead of coming down the mountain. She laughs again. I feel like I'm kind of in the heavens, like the ground is just one little thin layer, and then I'm above everything else. So it's like everything else is around me, but I feel I'm more in the sky than the rock I'm on. I feel I could just fly off of there if I wanted to. Dolores, no restrictions, no responsibilities, total freedom. Marie, yes. I decided to move her again, so I had her leave that place and go somewhere else that was appropriate. This time, we were in for another surprise. She was still not in a physical body. Marie. It's like bare rock. There's no grass. There are no flowers. It's just sheer rock. I'm in the granite. There are colors in the rock. There's gray and black, but I don't see any other colors. I'm surprised. Dolores, what does that feel like to be a part of a rock? Marie, that same feeling of being encompassed, like it's all around me, yet I'm free. I can get up and go any time. Dolores, it sounds like you can be a part of anything. Marie, yes, I don't feel rejected. It's accepting me, supporting, or cradling me. I'm just part of it. Dolores, it sounds like you can just choose any form you want to be and experience it. She says yes. And Dolores continues, that's interesting. Do you feel you learn anything when you become these different objects? Marie, I feel just part of one, and that's a comfort to me that I am just accepted and loved and part of it. No digression between the two, no separation, not a separateness, but a distinctive difference in the feeling of being encompassed. When I am part of something, I learn to feel one with it instead of separate. Dolores, do you think you're going to be in a physical body someday? Marie, not unless you tell me to. She laughs. It feels limiting to be in a body. And she laughs again. I feel surrounded, and it feels like to put a body on it would ground it and stop it from the flow that's going on. Wow. Hey, Sass and Saturnian and Pearl. Welcome, everybody. Awesome. Yeah. Juicy. I spent quite a bit of time moving her to try to find a life that we could examine. Instead, she kept finding herself as part of something solid, a rock, a tree, a flower. Or she saw herself flying from place to place, being the invisible observer. She liked watching the people in the park, and the animals and insects. She loved the freedom to come and go as she wished, with no responsibilities. Every place she saw, she said she was only visiting. It was not really her home. I knew she had eventually entered a physical body because that was what I was speaking to that was lying on the bed. At one time, I thought we had succeeded, but she was again the observer watching people. Quote, I don't know what the body feels like. It doesn't even feel like it's there. She laughs. I have some kind of weight because I'm on the solid ground. I feel more at home with the grass. End quote. She felt more a part of everything, and focusing on herself only confused her. I was getting ready to move her again when a being appeared next to her. She felt comfortable with it, so I thought we could get it to answer some questions and shed light on this. Very often, when an entity suddenly appears like this, it could be the client's guide or guardian angel. They can appear any way they wish to, but are normally seen in an unthreatening way. So I thought I would pursue that line of thinking for now instead of calling in the SC. Sometimes these entities can supply some answers. Dolores, ask him. We are drifting through several lives or ask him, we were drifting through several lives where she was not in a physical body. Has Marie had other lives? Marie chose to Marie chose to answer instead of allowing it to, but she was supplying important answers. Marie, I feel I've been more in space than a body most of my life. It's almost foreign to feel myself and not be combined with everything else. I'm used to total freedom, free flowing. I don't understand how to go from nothing and feeling spacious and with the outside around me to feeling alone and in a body and having to be somewhere. Dolores, was this her first time in a human body? What does he say? Marie, whatever you want it to be. They both laugh. He says I need to get out of the sky and feel solid and feel the ground beneath me and the earth. I don't really know what that feels like. More than being part of vapors and being part of something solid, down to the ground. Touch the ground and feel like I'm on something. Be still and touch the ground with hands and touch the trees. Dolores. She can pick up things and feel them and know that she has a real body. Is that what you mean? Marie. Yes, I guess so. I have to sit down, lie down, and feel grounded. And I don't want that to limit me to feeling I'm being encased because the other one felt like I was one with it and melded into me. Now that I feel solid, I feel separate. I feel I'm not a part of it. Maybe that's why I want to be solid. It feels right not to always be floating like a helium balloon that's always going up and up and up. I want something like a string for somebody to hold me with a tie to it. Oh, wait, with a string for somebody to hold me with and tie it to something. So I can always stay here on the ground instead of trying to find out up there. And see it as a good thing, not a limited thing. Something that is opposite of floating, so it's just as good as floating. It just feels so comfortable to float instead of standing there. Freedom. Maybe that's a lot of it. Floating feels free. Dolores Cannon, so close. Hey, Mr. Hugh, welcome in. I suggested that she could have a I suggested that she could have both. She could float free at night when she was sleeping and then stay grounded during the day. That way, she would never lose the part. Marie had a severe physical problem that was one of the main reasons for having the session. She had developed eczema over most of her body, which made her miserable with the constant itching and burning. She would scratch it to the point that it would bleed. The doctors could do nothing except give temporary relief. I then decided to call in the SC. The guide had helped, but I felt he was limited in whether or not he could answer these questions. Dolores, is it true that she has many is it true that she has had many lives as just forms and parts of things? She answers yes. Is this her first time in the physical body? Marie, yes, except the body. Or except like ACCEPT. Yes, accept the body. Accept this body. It serves you well. The cause of this eczema was an attempt to prove to her that she was physical. It definitely called attention to the body so she could be assured that she was in a body and that she had to accept that. We worked to remove the symptoms by having her realize she had to live here and this body was necessary. She was no longer the non physical observer, but an active participant. Marie, I know I'm grounded. My own weight will hold me to the ground. I'm grounded. I want to experience how it feels to be on the ground instead of in the air all the time. She laughs. Excuse me. To feel what it's like to be in a body, not always floating in some never, never others. I don't need anything to make me feel human. I am human. I'm not scattered. This is one of the main problems that first timers face. They have never been in a human body before, and they feel very limited and confined. They will develop physical problems and often unconsciously try to destroy the body through various ailments because they don't want to be here. The main thing for them to understand is that they volunteered to come at this important time in Earth's history, and they must stay in order to accomplish their assignment, their mission. There are no shortcuts unless they want to risk going back to the other side as a failure. When Marie first went to the beautiful gaseous star, I thought she had gone to another planet, but it had no form, and neither did she. I think it was a different description of going back to the source. It is usually described as being in a bright light or great sun, but it always has beautiful colors. It always gives the feeling of complete love, and the person does not want to leave because they are so happy there. Eventually, they do begin their journey, and it is common to experience it first as simpler forms of life, such as rocks and plants. They like this better because the life is short and they can come and go much faster. Yet, it is the beginning of knowing what it feels like, even if they don't like losing their feeling of freedom. The shimmering. I just watched that second. Dude, what's it called? The sequel. The sequel to The Shining. Oh my gosh, with Ewan McGregor. Stephen King's Doctor Sleep. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so good. The shimmering. Okay. Got that shine. Oh man, yeah. I got a cough. Uno momento, por favor. Another similar case came from Hope, who volunteered to be the demonstration for my class in Perth, Australia. It was not just out of curiosity. She had some physical issues. She wanted help with leukemia so desperately that she was willing to allow the room full of students witness the regression. When we began the session, she did not wait for me to complete the induction. She was already describing something unusual. It reminded her of the snow-covered mountains of Tibet. She described them as beautiful, isolated, still and peaceful, majestic and powerful. The air was crisp and absolutely unpolluted. Then she described something in the air that was totally unexpected. Of course, I'm so used to the unexpected that I just keep asking questions. Quote, the air is like living crystals that have been developed into little pieces. They are everywhere in the air, not in the ground. They're in the air. I'm breathing them. Wow. Saturnian Sun. I've watched it twice this past week. And I want to watch it again tonight. It's so good. I wasn't even finished watching it. And I was like texting my dad, you've got to watch this movie. Oh my gosh. I mean, because he turned me on to Stephen King in the first place. Anyhow, I got excited. I'm getting back into it. It's so good. But right, oh, it's like so jacked up and so good because some of that stuff is just like, okay, yeah. My first thought was that it would be impossible to breathe crystals. Quote, oh, they are tiny, minute particles. It's a very beautiful place, like another dimension. I am so high up you can see things and manifest them, and project them to Earth. It's easy. It's my job. I am linked to everything, but to manifest this, I can talk to people. You know what I mean? Some things have to be learned. It's an intrusion, really. Well, there really aren't any people here where I am. In place of people, energy. You wouldn't believe this, end quote. Wow. Dolores. So there are no other people around you? Hope. They're on Earth. I don't think I'm a person. I'm this shimmer. Actually, now that you mention it, there are many beings. I was thinking of people. These aren't people. They are my colleagues. They're made of little proton things. Dolores, so you don't really have a form? You're just moving? Would that be correct? Hope. Yes, thinking actually, manifesting. I am manifesting situations to be on Earth. We all are. That's what we're doing. Dolores, you said this was your job? Hope. Yes, but I have to go down. I have decided to go down and be one of those humans because we manifest. We all do, the shimmers. There are many of them. Then they come down because you create it, you deliver it, you anchor it. We anchor it on Earth. Dolores, are your colleagues going to come down also? Hope. It's your own discrimination. It is your choice. You have to have someone to hold the energy here, you know? Some shimmer down, and I'm one of them. Dolores, why did you decide to come down if you were so happy there? Hope, the word duty comes to me. Because we all play our roles. We know our role. We all do. I'm coming down. Is that okay? Dolores, whatever you want to do. But you seem as though you don't really want to. Is that correct? Hope, you read me well. Dolores, you were showing emotion like you really didn't want to come down. Hope, it's not a matter of wanting. It's a matter of what will be done. Dolores, does anyone tell you what you have to do? Hope, it's not forced. It isn't like that. There's no school teacher here. We meet, we know, we decide. It just is, or will come down. Dolores, tell me what happens when you decide to come down. Hope, well, Earth is very, very different. Where's the love? She gets upset. I don't get it. It's all so dense. We can't breathe crystals. Dolores, no, there are no crystals here. No, there are no crystals there, are there? Hope, all of it is tucked away. It's harsh, and people are. I'll tell you something. Do you want to hear this? Down where I am here, they do not believe in the shimmering. They both laugh. If you speak about the shimmering, your body gets ripped like this, pulled from one end to the other. Do not speak of the shimmering. She put her finger to her lips and made a shushing sound. Do you know what they do to people here? She started crying. They pull them apart. They do not realize what went into creating a physical body. They just destroy it, and they have no link to the shimmering. I must find a place where they link. Hey, Jack, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Happy holidays. Apparently, when she decided to come to Earth, it was at a time when there was much prejudice against people that were different. As a pure innocent soul, she did not realize the danger of telling people about where she came from. Hope. I didn't know this would happen. We meet secretly in little groups. They find us, all in here. It's just, and there's a pulling noise, fast. All during this session, Hope was using many hand motions that were impossible for the woman doing the transcribing to describe because she could not see them. I wished I would have had a video camera. The motions seemed to be referring to some type of torture. She made slicing motions down the front of her body and across her throat, also a type of pulling apart of her body. During the session, it was like she didn't want to really be explicit about what had happened to her while in the physical. But I could sense from the motions and the emotions that she had been tortured and killed for her beliefs. The SC apparently thought it was gentler for her to tell the story without going into details. This was much kinder on Hope. I can only imagine how this must have affected a gentle, pure soul coming to Earth for the first time, whose only desire was to help the people. This would have been totally unexpected for a soul coming directly from a place of divine and unselfish love, the place of the shimmering. Dolores, when you come down, are you in a physical body? Hope. Oh, yes, because you have to be. You have to have a body down here, and they do things to the body, and the body is dense, heavy like lead. Dolores, it's not comfortable, but you choose to enter the body so you could do a job. Is that correct? Hope. Yes, I forgot for a minute. It's to tell people about the shimmering. I'll tell you what it is. It's the poor people on Earth that have been cut off from this. It's so dense here with fear. Our job is to dissipate the fear and really connect them to the shimmering, where they come from. And the possibilities vary because the shimmering can be lowered to be manifest. But it is not as easy as I thought, because I've had no limitations. No, I didn't. They whisper it in the wind. It is whispered off, but you don't know, do you? So the question arises, how do we do it? How do we finish what we've come to do? How? I'm searching for an answer. Sometimes I feel, what is the point? There's no good. Dolores, but you know they're not all like that. There are some who will listen. Hope, it's not them you have to deal with. They too come from the shimmering. They work. It's those, so many, who have forgotten where they came from, their link and their power and their beauty. It's so heavy that you forget. Dolores, is there a way to help them remember? Hope, this is what I'm here for. I'm searching. I think I failed. Call down more shimmerings. Call down more shimmerings so that energy is building. It is happening now, more light and more recording. Dolores, what do you mean recording? Hope, more we called in. Dolores, what about the ones who are already here on Earth? Are they able to do these things? Hope, they are shimmering here as people. Dolores, so you mean they've all forgotten? Hope, I think it's more me. I think I've forgotten. I would have hoped not, but yes, it's definitely me, because there are many others I can see now, many others doing their work. Many have forgotten, many have not. I'm one of them, and I feel I haven't come up to scratch. I haven't succeeded. Dolores. But you know, when you get into the physical body, things are different. Hope. Not for some people. For me. Dolores. When you're in a physical body, you start living the life of any physical person. Hope. Apparently so. Much to my sorrow. Dolores. Do you think there's a way to bring the memories back to this body you're speaking through? Hope. That would be my dearest wish. Dolores. Are you aware you are speaking through a physical body? Hope. Yes, and it's in pain. Dolores. Why is the body in pain? Hope. Sorrow. It's just complete sorrow from having forgotten the job it came to do. Complete sorrow. The subconscious said the sorrow was because Hope was not doing what she came to do. She had forgotten, and this was causing the pain in her body. I talked to it about returning the body to complete balance and harmony so she could do her job. I said, she doesn't know consciously that she has stopped the process. Hope. Aw, she's pretty smart. She's got a fair idea. She's getting there. Excuse me. Jackie, welcome in. Awesome. There was also a lot of fear originating from the past lives when she had been brutally hurt. Hope. There are layers and layers and layers of lifetimes of ridicule, pain, humiliation. Dolores. Why did she choose to have lifetimes of pain and humiliation? Hope. For the cause. Forgot the use of the energy, which is lost upon the planet. I think she's allowing others to stop her. Dolores. Who are the others that she's allowing to stop her? Hope. I think the church and this God and this everything piled up on top of her. It's very high, all on top of her, stopping her. They're books. They're only books of incorrect knowledge. They're only words. Dolores. We can just throw them away. She doesn't need them anymore. I did a lot of work having her visualize removing the books and layers and throwing them away. Also, many suggestions to get her confidence back, because nothing would happen to her in this lifetime if she chose to speak her mind. It all related to the past lives and had nothing to do with the present one. It was agreeing with me, and I thought we were making headway. Hope. She is a little confused because when she worked in spirit alone, she had everything she needed, and she was alone and was happy to be so as a shimmering. As a person, she stays alone. She does keep herself alone. She would be far better to be working in groups so that she had the support. She is used to being a shimmering all alone in glorious isolation. If you could tell her it is not the same on earth, that one cannot isolate oneself and survive. We don't like to criticize, but it is a failing. If that's the word one could use. She needs to be social, but she's become hidden away. In a group, she would not be alone. I then asked the eternal question. What was Hope's purpose? What did they want her to do? Hope. If she would only give the credence to herself and her work and her alone time and not worry so much about others. She's trying to be normal. Big, big mistake. She can never be normal. You want to work, and most of the people in this room are not normal. Dolores. Are you aware that others are in the room, my class? And she says, oh, yes. And Dolores continues, many of us are not what you consider normal. Hope. No one here is normal in the humans. I don't mean that rudely at all. I mean that with the greatest honor. She needs the support. It's like the olden days. This is her problem. She has gone past the church, but the church did give a group. She has not a group. Throughout, when she kept referring to the shimmering, I saw it as just another word for the spirit form and the way they looked and the way they looked in that other and the way they looked in that other world. We now focused on the physical problems she had, leukemia and tumors in her throat. Hope. She didn't want to be here. What's the point? She said to herself in secret. Whew, there's a fly. Dolores. Did she just decide that she didn't want to be here? Hope. No, 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 no. She saw what was happening and she started to pain. But underneath it all, the shimmering was not shimmering. Do you get what I mean? Dolores says yes. She is actually here. And when she remembers the shimmering, I think she will want to be here. The physical problems had come from not wanting to be here anymore. She was disappointed about her work and her career choice. She wanted to help people, but she didn't think it was working. Also, she had given so much over to her husband that she was not living her own life. Quote, she's living someone else's life, end quote. She was supposed to live her own life. Her husband would be agreeable to that. When it had all been agreed upon, the SC worked extremely fast on removing the physical problem, the leukemia. It just made a quick motion over the body, as though throwing something away, and announced, "It is done." Hey, good to see you, Milky Way. Awesome. Welcome in. Very good. Hope. It was poison of thinking, Dolores. Why did she develop it? In the lymph glands. Hope. Hatred for her situation, Dolores. By creating the white blood count so high, it was destroying the body. Hope. Yes, where is the joy? Where? Not fair. I emphasized that she could now bring joy into her life, and the SC again said she was not to be alone so much. She wasn't meant to work in isolation. I have found that many people who are on the second wave of volunteers do not want to be around people. They would rather work and live in isolation. But herein lies the paradox. They're supposed to be helping people by spreading their energy, but most of them don't like people. So they would rather be alone, thus defeating their purpose. She began to cough, and I asked about her throat. She had a growth there. They said it was because she was full of fear, and it settled there. Afraid to speak because of the unconscious memories of what happened when she did speak out in other lifetimes. The SC said the growth was hard as bone. It had been there for a long time and had calcified. After it studied it, it cracked it in half like a walnut. Hope. The walnut is broken in half. It is vanishing. Now one can speak the truth easily. She won't be afraid. The leukemia, the lymph glands, had been taken care of. It was gone. Dolores. When she goes back to the doctor and has the blood test, will he notice the difference? Hope. Yes. And will she be able to tell him why? It will be hard for her initially to tell him, Dolores. But he will notice that something is different. Hope. He will say, spontaneous remissions do occur. One day she will offer him a treatment. Dolores. Have you completed working on Hope's body? Hope. That is done. As she moves and decides her direction, her body will move and decide with it. We give her the information, free will. She has to believe. She will like the shimmering. Her voice will take on a beautiful timbre of rhythm that we will like to listen to. She needs to want to be here, and she will now. Dolores. You know, normally I have to ask you to come forth, but you've been here the whole time, haven't you? And she laughs. Hope. Was I not supposed to be here? Dolores. Oh no, that was fine. You knew what the students here needed. Sometimes you can just come in instantly when it's important. Hope. And it depends on who you're working on. Dolores. So it wasn't necessary for her to relive all these painful past lives, was it? It didn't serve a purpose. Just enough to know. Excuse me. Just enough to know that was what was causing the problems. Hope. Yes, you may find that there will be a quickening in these sessions because time as we know it is changing. Dolores. So the sessions will go faster and get to the point quicker? Hope. They could. Some will, yes. Dolores. It always depends on the person. And she says, yes. Hope. This work is so important, and to have the intent of the shimmering to bring heaven to earth. And how beautiful to know that when you get into bed at night with your work, you have brought some of the shimmering, heaven to earth. We ask you, what better job satisfaction could there be? For every person you heal, the earth lightens. We thank you for your work. We send the shimmers to you. We thank you. We honor you. So in this case, I would think the shimmering referred to either the God source or the spirit side, especially when she referred to breathing the crystals. Either way, it refers to the starting point for some souls who make their first journeys to Earth. They come with the best intentions and find it is not as easy as they thought it would be once they get here. Yeah, man. Fascinating. I'm really tired tonight, and I'm just going to read the one chapter, even though it's so juicy, and I always want to continue. But yeah, I'm going to call it right here. Yeah, man, when I read these books, I still feel super conflicted because of my own experience going and having that past life regression session. But yeah, it's still juicy to read. So hey, thanks everyone for joining me tonight. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go live tomorrow or not. I got a lot of stuff to do for Christmas with my family. And yeah. So we'll just do it like we feel it, like we always do. So if I don't happen to see you before Christmas Eve or Christmas, if that's something that you choose to celebrate, I hope you have a really good one. So yeah, thanks for being here with me tonight. Take care of yourselves. And oh yeah, thank you, YouTube. Thank you, StreamYard. And thanks to anyone who comes now, later, whenever. Hey, Timo, welcome. Awesome. So sweet. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Thank you.